Alright, back to the workbench. So I think I finally got them glued together. So the last section I had to glue was this shorter piece to the longer piece. This cutout is here, as I plan on putting a block in here to be a vise to go in and out as such. So that's the game plan for that. That's why that's cut out. So with the legs, this one here, I'm going to just cut a small recess on the underside to put the whole leg into the table a little bit, but the leg will probably only come up, you know, about yay deep in the table, because I'm going to have to put a bolt. I'm going to have to make a bolt and a nut so it'll screw in there, so this will come in and out. So that's going to have to go through the center, through this way, so I'm going to have to mount my leg so it doesn't interfere with that. The back two legs I could just run a straight through mortise and tenon on the back side. Cut the back legs to where it's just a through tenon with cheeks all the way around running through the back. Those ought to be easy enough. The front leg I'm going to have to mount flush with the face because I want to put a leg vise on here. So the leg vise is going to attach on the leg and it's going to help clamp on the face of the table. So I need this flush with the face of the table. So in doing that, I'm going to set my tenon on the back side of my leg. So this is open, so I'm not cutting out on the front face of the table. So I'll just have a through mortise on the back section so that the leg will stick up through the back part. So that's it. Same thing, the back two legs will be the same. So also too, I'm going to cut a channel out the side. I'm going to take a 1x and put it in sideways in here so it'll pin these together, because I was having such a problem with the glue up on these things. So with the rough cut pine, what I think was happening, I think A, it was still really damp, and B, as I was planing it, some of them I don't think I got really flat, so I think they were sitting like belly to belly and just kind of rocking, so they didn't glue up good. So I got an electric planer, and I think I got a better flat face on these two sections. So I think it's glued up fairly well. But I want to put this lock in so that they're locking together, and this side will run through the whole table. And then, alright, so for consistency's sake, I got 8 inches marked. So I got 8 inches as a center line here. I got 8 inches here on the tops. Those are all marked at 8 inches. And then on the bottoms, I marked 8 inches. So that's I'm going to keep that as my center line for my legs. So on this back one, this one I really don't need one for the top because I'm not punching all the way through on it. This one I think I'm gonna try to make a triangle tenon to run through a triangle mortise. So that way I'm using both pieces of my laminated leg to go through the mortise. And also too, I have enough cheek, but I don't have to cut the face out of the table. So we'll see how that works out. Alright, so the top and the bottom markings should line up. So I have an 8 inches from my edge, I drew a line. 1 inch from the face, I drew another line. So that should be the bottom, or the angle, the point of my triangle. Now, where the 8-inch line comes in, I measured what I drew on this, which is right at 3 inches. So I'm going to use that 3-inch mark, or almost 3 inches, from this intersection, and I drew this line up here at the top. So that should be the top, pretty close to what my triangle can be on this. So I'm measuring 1.5 inches out from this intersection, putting a mark here and a mark here, and I'm going to take those and draw a line, and I'm going to take these and draw a line. So now I have my triangle. So that's what I'm going to cut out. So just instead of a square mortise, I'm cutting out a triangle. And the reason why I'm cutting out a triangle is so I can get on my tenon, I can get more meat on these 2 pieces laminated, and then also I have a lot of cheek on the front up in here, because I don't want to cut my face and weaken the face of my bench, because this is part of what I'm going to be clamping to for my bench vise. So I wanted my front to be as strong as possible, and then more toward the back is going to be my cutout for my tenon, this tenon. So I'm going to cut this out first, the mortise out first, and once I get it cut out, then I'm going to basically try to take that and trace it on here so I can cut the tenon to match exactly with the mortise. So that's my game plan there on that one. For this one over here, I'm not going to cut through the top. And I'm going to cut out the bottom. And I think really all I'm going to do is center that line up with the center, or where the lamination is. And alright, so that should be my leg. So what I want to do with this is I want to step in just about about a 1/2 inch on each side, and that way I'll just cut a pocket out. I'll cut a little bit off of the cheek just so I have a bit of shoulder resting on the table, a little bit going through. It won't be a through, just be like a half mortise and tin, not even a half. I only plan on going in, I don't know, maybe about an inch, maybe an inch and a quarter, something like that. And these, I mean, when you do your mortise and tenons like this, if you do one first, then you can measure the other based off of the first one. So it doesn't have to be, I can make this any size I want. I'm trying to just keep it simple as far as the measurements I use. What I'm going to cut out, so I'm going to have a half an inch of overhang that the leg is going to rest on this table, and then the center part is going to go into the table. That's gonna be how those will be. Start on that. And the backs will be just straight through.